Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from AnthonyMorganti.com, and in this video I'm going to do a demo of Portrait Professional. Those of you that have watched my Learn Lightroom 5 video series know that I did portraits using Lightroom exclusively in episode 7 and episode 14. And in episode 7 I did this photograph, and in episode 14 I did this photograph. And in that episode I mentioned that I was going to do this exact same portrait using Portrait Professional and show you how powerful that program is. This is the after photo of this portrait retouch that I did in Lightroom. So this was all done exclusively in Lightroom. In Portrait Professional we'll do the exact same photograph, and I'll show you how powerful the program is. Let me say right now at this point, I'm not affiliated with Portrait Professional. I don't make any money from them. They're not paying me for this video. Nothing. I don't even know anyone over there. I just like the program, and I wanted to show you guys what it can do. And if you're interested in getting it, you could buy it. There's three versions of Portrait Professional 11. There is the standalone version, that of course is the cheapest version. That just is a standalone. You load it up and you load photographs into it, and you're done. The middle price version is called Portrait Professional Studio 11 or Portrait Professional 11 Studio version, something like that. It's Studio though, and that one is a plug-in. You could plug it into Lightroom, Aperture, Photoshop. So you could be doing something on your photo in Lightroom and then send it over to Portrait Professional 11 to do some modifications to it. The highest price version is called Studio 64, and that one will now I'm saying, these things that it does. These are some of the things. You really should head over to the Portrait Professional site and see all the things. I know, like the Studio version also will read RAW files natively that the standalone version doesn't, and it does a lot more that the standalone doesn't do, not just be a plug-in. The Studio 64 does even more, and it's optimized for 64-bit machines and whatnot. And I'll have links on my website to send you over to the Portrait Professional site where you could download a 30-day trial, and you could see how the program works, and you could see the different versions and what they do. So we want to send this photograph over, this unretouched photograph, over into Portrait Professional. There's a few ways you could do it. You could right click on the thumbnail image and go up to Edit In, and since I'm using the Studio version, I have it so it's a plug-in, and it's right here, Edit in Portrait Professional app. You could right click on the photograph itself, go to Edit In, and you could go up to Photo up here in the menu. You probably don't see that in the video, the way the resolution is. It cuts off the top of the video. But you click on Photo. Excuse me. What did I do there? Why am I such an idiot? Okay, there we go. Photo, Edit In Portrait Professional Studio. And we want to edit a copy. I never want to edit the original, so edit a copy, so it'll create a copy before it sends it over. Now, what Portrait Professional does, it detects the face, and to help it detect the face, it will come up with this dialogue, and it thinks this is a female, and it is. You obviously could choose between a child or an adult, male or female. So we're going to pick the female, and now it will automatically do some enhancing to the photograph. You don't have to do anything at the beginning, and actually it's going to do a great job. You'll see in a second. And there it is. I mean, it smoothed her skin, got rid of most of the blemishes, it enhanced her eyes, it enhanced her eyebrows a little bit. It already did something right out of the box. What you could do though is these little lines, they tell Portrait Professional where her eyebrows are, where her eyes are, and you want to make sure that they're perfect, because that way the program will do a better job of processing the image. And what you do is you just grab these little handles and move these lines around. In this case, it didn't grab her jawline that well, so we're going to come over here and we're going to grab these little handles and pull them out a little bit so that it better sculpts the edge of her jawline. And this one maybe out a little bit. So this is important that you do this. Her eyebrows didn't get as well. And her nose, it did a fine job. Her eyes, you want to move these things. You want that middle part right on her pupil, the middle of her pupil. And it did a fine job there. So, and as you move away from it, those lines go away. So you could see the before and after. Now the first thing I do generally, now these large blemishes she had here, it got rid of most of them, but there is still a little bit here. And what you would do is you go to this touch-up brush, and whenever you hover over anything, there's going to be these little help dialogues that'll pop up and tell you what these do. You could turn those off in the presets so they don't do it. I have them on now to show you what they do. One thing too, when I click on the touch-up brush, for some reason my version of Portrait Professional, this whole screen will shift down to the lower right. Not sure why it does that. It drives me nuts. I don't know if that's a bug or something to do with my system. See how it kind of shifted over when I did the touch-up brush? But anyways, what you do now is you just paint on the area you want to remove, and it instantly will remove those blemishes. And you could do it, it's kind of in strength too, so you could put one layer down, and there's still a little blemish there. I could do it a little more, and stuff like that. You could just, and you could resize the brush similarly in Lightroom. With the left bracket key will make it smaller, and the right bracket key will make it bigger. And you could you know, help anything it didn't do in the initial run. You could just you know, use it to get rid of the rest of them. And in this case here, there's, I mean, just minor things. And that's it on the touch-up brush. So you click it again, and you turned it off. The real power is over there. Now I got to move this over because, as I mentioned, it resized the screen. Not sure really why it does that. It just does it all the time, though. I mean, I have it never had it not do it. And if anyone from Portrait Professional is watching this and you know why it does it, and am I doing excuse me, if I'm doing something wrong, please tell me. Okay, the real power of Portrait Professional comes in these this area over here on the right. Now I'm going to show you up here now. This is the presets. It's a young woman natural. That's what we did in that opening dialogue. You could change it to a glamour shot, or you could change it to an older woman if you want. There's more to, you know, even older woman, a man, if this happened to be a man for some reason, I don't know. But you could click on all these presets to try those out. In this case, I'm happy it's a young woman. I want it a natural shot. Okay, the first thing, you don't have to do these in order either, excuse me. You could just jump around as you like, because you know, there might be some sculpt controls you want to do on one person but not on another. This you can't do in Lightroom, and this is what you'll see a lot of these you know, commercial ads, glamour shoots and photographs and magazines. You know, they actually do sculpt the face. They bring the cheeks in and out like that, and you could do all this in Portrait Professional and in the face sculpt controls. And you could sculpt her face right off the beginning. As I move the slider, look at that. It's making bringing her cheeks in and changing her hairline slightly. And there's an expose triangle here. When you click it, you could do the forehead separate from the jaw if you want. Same thing with the nose. You could just move the master slider, and it'll see it's affecting her nose. You could see her nose move there. You also could click the triangle, and you could shorten the nose. Let's shorten it a little. You could shorten her philtrum, which is this part of her nose here. See the head? Isn't that something? You could slim the tip of her nose, which brings her nostrils in a bit, and you could slim her entire nose a little bit. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It's really amazing. I'm amazed at what Portrait Professional could do. Her eyes, you could make them bigger and smaller. A lot of times a model might have smaller eyes and you want to enhance them in Portrait Professional. You use the master slider and it will do proportional adjustments to everything all at once. And you could go down and do them individually, so you could make her right eye a different shape than her left eye. Why you would want to do that, I'm not sure, but stuff like that. Also, shaping her eyebrows. You could just, bring them up, bring them down, whatever. So those are the sculpting for the eyes and the eyebrows. You could also do similar things for her mouth. You could force a smile on her. Why aren't you ever smiling? So we'll give her a little bit of a Mona Lisa smile. You could adjust lower lip, upper lip separately. You could change the expression on her lips a little bit. That's again kind of like the smile. The plump lips, if a person had thin lips, in this case she doesn't, you could just move this slider here to plump her upper lip. You could see that doing that. And plump her lower lip. It's really amazing. It really is. I know I keep saying it, but to me it is. It moves pixels as perfectly as it does without distorting anything else. You can make her eyes bigger. This is when I mentioned before. Look at that. You could bug them out if you wanted to. It's kind of cool. Or you can make them smaller. Give her an entirely different look. But it's pretty cool. I mean, stuff it does. And the neck, you can, lengthen and shorten her neck if you wanted to, if you were so inclined. This button here, you click that and it will give you the before and after. That's the before and that's the after. Many would argue I made her worse. I didn't help her at all. But just to give you an idea, I'm just moving sliders around. I'm not really trying to get a specific look and hoping to make her glamorous by any means. I'm just trying to show you what these sliders do. The next one down is the skin and smoothing controls, which had already applied a great deal of it. As you can see, her skin was smooth. You want to be careful here. You never want to apply too much because the skin starts looking plastic and it looks like it was retouched. You want to try to do it so it looks natural. The eye controls, you could do, this is pretty cool too, if the white part of her eye wasn't white enough, you could whiten it, brighten it, sharpen her eyes, which you could see there. You could see the effect there, which I did in Lightroom also. You could sharpen her eyebrows, which I did in the Learn Lightroom 7 video. I sharpened the girl's eyebrows in that one. This is pretty cool. You could actually change her eye color. You just move this slider, this color slider, along, and you can see. Look at that. That's crazy. You could actually change the color of her eyes, the intensity of her stare. It's pretty cool. Brighten the iris, darken the pupil. But anything's here is you just could play with all these controls and see what they do and whether or not you like them. Now in this case too, another thing which I add sometimes on some natural light portraits, she has catch lights in her eyes, and you always like to have catch lights in a model's eyes. It makes them look alive. If there are no catch lights, you could add some, and you have all different kinds of catch lights you could add, sunsets and 2 dots, small dots, whatever. In this case, as I mentioned, she has catch lights, so I'm not going to add those. Of course, it has red eye removal if you hit flash created red eye in the model. Mouth and nose controls is you could do make her lips darker and lighter, like this. Different things. You just go through it, moisten her lips, sharpen her mouth. I did that in the Lightroom videos 7 and 14. Mess around with that. The contrast of her nose is basically the shadow around her nose and in her nostrils. And let's see, skin coloring controls is interesting. You could give her a tan, or like she was shot with a little warmer of a light. You know, that's pretty cool stuff. You know, you just play with them. I know I'm going really quickly, but I just wanted to give you an overview and demo of the program itself to show you how powerful it is. The hair controls, I never really use that much, but you could actually you know, add a little shine to her hair. Unfortunately, I never got them to work real well, mainly because in this case, I don't think I have this adjusted real well. That's the hairline of the model, so you could go back and adjust it. So I want to add some shine. See, it's adding it to like to the where the hair starts. Could lighten her hair. Could add a red tinge to her hair. Add some vibrance to her hair. You could actually change the color of her hair by clicking here, and you could go up, you know, and pick a different color. But see how it's only doing the edge in this case? This is where you could edit the hair area here, so you could extend the hair, you know, up in here, so you could actually paint on. It comes with an overlay of where her hair is. And again, you could use the left and right bracket keys to make this brush bigger and smaller. Whoops, I made a mistake. So you go and get the hair here, and we want to get rid of my mistake here. Is we cut back, hit that button there, cut back, and that'll hopefully get rid of that. And then when we're done, you click on that, click OK. Now it's, you know, I just don't like the job it did. Typically, like I said, I don't do the hair controls, but I've never really tried to do the hair controls. So, you know, I'm just showing you them because it's here, but I obviously don't even know how to use them properly. But you know, don't let that stop you from experimenting with them, and hopefully you could get them to do what it's supposed to do. The very last adjustment is the general picture controls. You noticed when I gave her a tan, it only affected her skin. It didn't affect her lips, it didn't affect her eyes, it didn't affect her hair or the background. These picture controls here will do the whole photograph, so you could like boost contrast, and if we had a colorful background, it would or vibrance, that would increase the vibrance of the background also. So that's these controls here. So that's really it. You could go on and on. I mean, there's some really fine tune, as you could see, you know, upper lip, lower lip, you know, and things like that, left eye, right eye. You could go on and go crazy doing adjustments. Now, as I mentioned here, I mentioned before, I just did these adjustments hodgepodge. I didn't really have a plan. You know, I didn't look at it and say, I want to get rid of this. I want to make her, you know, face narrower. I was just moving these controls around to show you what they did. So this isn't necessarily a gorgeous portrait by any means, and I don't claim it to be. When you're done, you go up here to File and hit Return from Plugin. And what it will do, it will save the image. And when it's done saving the image, it does take a little while. It will close down Portrait Professional and go back into Lightroom, and Lightroom will have this image now in it already. This is, you know, using the studio version of Portrait Professional. And there it is. This is our retouched image using Portrait Professional. And to remind you, this was the image that I just retouched in Lightroom. And this over here is the original image. So we went from that to that. And it really didn't take very long. If I wasn't talking and actually had a plan, I probably could have took me less than 5 minutes to do this. And that's why I use Portrait Professional. And I mentioned many times in my videos is I don't want to be post-processing all day. I want to get in and get out. I'd rather spend my time making pictures, not processing pictures, and Portrait Professional allows me to do that. And again, I don't make any money off Portrait Professional. I'm not an affiliate. If Portrait Professional is watching and they want to send some money my way, I welcome it. But obviously, I'm not doing this video for that. I really do like the program. So on my website, I'll have links back to Portrait Professional. They're not affiliate links or anything like that. Although if you happen to click a Google ad, you might, I might make 10 cents or something. But I'm not encouraging you to do that. I just want to get it out in the open that I'm not hawking Portrait Professional because I'm a paid spokesman or anything like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You could download a 30-day trial, I believe it is, and give it a shot for yourself. And appreciate everyone watching. I appreciate everyone who subscribed to my channel. It's really awesome. Thank you very much. And I'll be having more Lightroom videos in the future. I'm behind on my photo critiques, but I'll be having a lot of those in the future. And learn Adobe Photoshop Elements 11 training tutorials. I have more of those coming. And I'm going to be starting a new series. It's Photoshop for photographers. And it's going to be start out very basic for people learning Photoshop that are photographers. And I'm going to be mainly concentrating on just the controls in Photoshop that us photographers have to worry about. So because Photoshop is so powerful and you could do so many things with it, but mainly stuff that a photographer would want to do in Photoshop, and we'll be covering that. So look for that in the not too distant future. That's it again. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Take care.